Many thanks for staying with us on TVC Breakfast. Now to our next discussion, which we will be bringing in about a minute's time, and that's about the Saudi Africa Summit, which was held in Riyadh for 3 days beginning from November the 10th. And it was organized to further develop relations between Africa and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, as well as in a bid to forge ties that will promote strategic relationship and partnership between both sides. Now, Africa leaders at that summit renewed their commitments to strengthening cooperation between the continent and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, driven by the joint strategic partnership and areas of common interest. TVC News business editor Tolulokwe Ogunjobi has more in this report.
One after the other, presidents of member African countries and some Arabian countries joined the Saudi Arabian Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman to deliberate on economic issues, impact of climate change, humanitarian issues, and the much talked about energy transition initiative. African leaders present took turns to speak around these contending issues. Nigeria's president, Bola Tinubu, who spoke through his Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Yusuf Tuga, commended the Saudi government for their support and interventions across the continent, which has yielded positive results over time. He maintains that Nigeria remains an investment hub, which is safe and promising returns on investment for all interested parties.
We are pleased to announce the launching of the development initiative of the custodian of the two holy mosques in Africa through the inauguration of development projects and programs with an amount that exceeds $1 billion for 10 years. We also look forward to injecting new Saudi investments in different sectors with an amount that exceeds $25 billion of financing and securing $10 billion of exports, as well as providing $5 billion as additional development funding for Africa till 2030.
Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 of post-hydrocarbon smart cities and Africa's Agenda 2063 of inclusive development provide a clear path to a future of peace and prosperity for developing countries. The African Continental Free Trade Area of 876 million talented youth is the political economy of the future.
For the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, support over the years through the Saudi Fund for Development has made significant interventions in many African countries in the domain of social and infrastructure development.
By yesterday's signing, we reached more than $11 billion in different sectors in education, health, transportation, and other development sectors.
The message at the Saudi African Summit here in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, is straight. African leaders have come together to strengthen ties, improve business relations. The aim is to eradicate poverty and increase inclusive growth across the board. They say dealing with each other will further strengthen the capacity of the continent, and they expect that outcome of gatherings like this one would be implemented to the latter. Tolulokwe Ogunjobi, TVC News, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
Joining us in the studio now to discuss the outcome of this Saudi Africa Summit, which occurred in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, is a public policy analyst, Joe Femidagoro. It's good to have you join us again. You're welcome.
Yes, good morning.
And it's the first summit of its kind, and not just Nigeria, but we did see, active involvement, heavy presence of African leaders, and, wide representation from the continent. I wonder what to make of this. How promising is it for you? Deals have been sealed so far, though at preliminary stages. But, for you, what are you excited?
Well, I'm not really excited. Most of all these summits and meetings going on here and there, the thing is, most of the times now you find out that African leaders have been summoned, kind of. You call it invitation. The African leaders have been summoned to come around and talk to us. Are these people not really interested in coming here to talk to us? We have all what it takes. We have all these things here as well. But it's because we are not managing our systems. We are not managing our economics well. We are not managing our resources well. That's why we have to, go to them all the time. I won't be surprised if one day Armenia or any other other country, we say, look, just come around. I have nothing against Armenia, but I mean, countries we just call Africa and we just run out there. You know, it's good for our president to meet people at that kind of, he's just a new president. He has to travel around diplomatically, meeting people and striking deals and, exposing Nigeria that, look, here I am, I'm the man in charge, do business with me. That is not a bad idea at all. But, this meeting, you see that a lot of deals, a lot of MOUs have been signed. But you see, coming back to Nigeria, people want this MOU to function. They want all these things to, begin to produce results. Pictures and ops here and there, it's not just enough. It's good. But then how soon are we going to have Aramco to invest in our refinery? How soon are we going to have our mining and other resources being tapped and being used well? How soon are we going to have our agriculture, to be boosted? How soon, because you see what we are facing right now is unfortunate. I said, it is not just that this thing has been there, it's been there for a long time. It's not a 3 months or 6 months program, problems that we have. But unfortunately, when you say you want to be a leader, and President Tinubu said it, he wanted to be, and he has been given the mantle, and now we have this issue of whether he's the one, whether he's not the one, has been laid down, and the Supreme Court said, yes, you are the legitimate person, go ahead and walk. So there's no side distraction again. So I believe it's good to go all out and meet people and meet countries, leaders, to be able to project Nigeria or to be able to, seek assistance where necessary. Recently, you see, EIU said, we are not even competent enough to manage this floating foreign forex. Have we really looked into that? Are we competent to manage this floating forex that we are managing? Because that's an issue right now at home. The last time the president came, they said, look, we are going to flood the market with some of these things. You flood the market, but the market has not been flooded. I think we have to be careful. The government has to be careful in what they say to people because, when you say you want to flood the market with foreign exchange, that this thing will soon die, and up to now, we have not seen the flood coming in terms of foreign exchange. And the problem is still escalating. So after this meeting, within this meeting, let's be careful what information we release into the public's mind so that they will not begin to have a hyper expectation that will make, oh, look, he's gone there, what else? He's going to another one, what else? So we have to be very careful. It's about information management. It's about how do we manage the resources that we have. If Saudi Aramco, that is second largest company in the world, is like NNPC, and now we have Saudi Aramco saying, look, we are coming in. How are they coming in? What are they coming in to do? I know we must have prepared this before we even go to them. And then where's the NNPC MD in this? What are they saying? I said it a couple of times, we need transparency. We need a very good dialogue with our people to make them understand that, look, it is not just saying Saudi Aramco. It's a well-respected company that released, a profit of about 161 billion. This is not just a company you can mess around with. So what are we offering them? We should be able to say, this is what we are offering. They are coming. And we should be able to manage our labor. They see all these things happening, that there will be a strike today, there will be a strike tomorrow, that, aviation is not being well managed. And so how are we managing what we have before we say, look, come around? It's good. The president said, look, you won't lose your money. I will do all this. Yes, these are promises that are good. Investors are interested in promises, but the investors, they have the ears on the ground to see what is really going on. And when you see America or other countries say, look, be careful, don't go to this hotel, don't go to that hotel, you might say, oh, we don't care about that. But then it's something, a signal to other investors. Where are they going to stay in the first instance? They have to stay in all these big hotels. So if they are having that kind of security information, something is wrong. So these are all the packages we have to bring to the table. This is what we are doing. This is what we have to do. And then information has to go out, the flow of information. You remember the last time the spokesperson of the government said, oh, visa will be, given to Nigerians. Okay, this has been done. This has been done with this airline now. Yes, Emirates. And then only for them to come out and say, no, this is not what we said. We have to be very careful. So after this event of Saudi Africa Summit, let's hear what the government is going to offer, and let's know how is this thing going to benefit the people of this country.
And that's what we are looking at, in the sense that some of these countries that were actually invited to Saudi Africa Summit were some of the countries that were shunned by the West, one of which is Gabon, which is the transitional leader, General Brice Oligui Nguema, who deposed a long time Bongo in August. So do you not feel that this might be a game changer in terms of some of the investments or some of the things that Saudi is looking to helping Africa to grow? You expressed that feeling that why is it that we are always going to them? They are supposed to always come to African soil to hold some of these summits. But do you not feel that this might be a sort of game changer as against what we used to get from the West?
You know what? They know we've got a lot of stuff to offer. They know we have the resources, human resources, natural resources. They need us as much as we need them. And now all these countries that are going, all these new leaders, whether by coup or by election or by selection or whatever, they have to get the benefits of all this meeting to their people as well. So now the people of Africa, Africans generally, they want good life, they want good existence, they want good businesses, they want to excel, and we have this a feeling that, look, we can do it as well as all other places we are going. It's not as if these countries too, they have their problems. They have their problems, but look at the dynamism in what the Saudi leader is doing. He's creating a lot of opportunities for his own people. Right. Look at, this is the man that they know they produce oil. The oil is one of their major resources as well. But he's investing, so much in what's it called now? This energy program, green energy.
That's right.
He's investing so much. He has created a space whereby automobiles will not be allowed into this place. It's just to trek and to use bicycle and all that. So he knows what he's talking about. Green energy, he's not saying that, look, he's not doing that. So he's doing more for his own people. He's anticipating that a lot of things. How much are we doing in Africa?